Have you ever thought, I live sincerely, treat others kindly, so who would ever envy me? Have you ever felt heartbroken when your closest friend, the one you helped, trusted, and stood by, suddenly turned their back on you, spoke ill of you, or even tried to drag you down, just because you were more successful than them? That's a painful truth many people have faced. Envy often comes from those once closest to us. In life, some relationships don't start out toxic. They begin with warmth and closeness. But over time, as you rise, as you shine, as you have things they don't, their gaze starts to change, their smile becomes forced, and their words carry hidden thorns. Envy is a kind of poison, colorless, odorless, but it seeps deep, slowly destroying bonds with silent persistence. It doesn't just make the other person suffer in jealousy, it also causes you, the target, to endure a storm of unseen wounds. The ancients had a saying, the heart shapes the face. A malicious heart will eventually show through one's expression. A person filled with envy, no matter how well they try to hide it, will eventually reveal cracks. And if you are observant enough, mindful enough, you can see who is truly sincere and who is wearing a mask. In today's video, I'll share with you 5 facial signs that reveal a person harboring jealousy, not to make you distrust everyone, but to help you protect yourself wisely and avoid being hurt by those who seem close but hide harmful intentions. Welcome to Ancient Philosophy, where we explore timeless life lessons drawn from the wisdom of ancient thinkers, refined over thousands of years. In today's world, full of confusion and deceit, ancient philosophy becomes a guiding light, helping us walk through relationships with clarity, peace, and inner strength. If you want to live more wisely each day, if you're searching for calm in a chaotic world, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and don't miss the valuable lessons we share every day. 1. Cold, sharp eyes, a gaze that judges Sisyphus. There is an old saying, if you want to know someone's heart, look into their eyes when you are successful. And it's true. The eyes are the most honest mirror of a person's inner world. When someone envies you, even if they smile brightly, their eyes can't hide the coldness and jealousy simmering inside. People who are envious often have eyes as sharp as blades. They don't look at you with empathy or sincerity. They look at you with judgment, suspicion, and at times, disdain. They don't look to listen. They look to compare. And if you happen to be better than them in some way, wealthier, more attractive, more accomplished, their gaze quickly turns distant and icy like a cold winter fog. When you share something joyful, they seem uninterested. When you talk about your latest achievement, they don't congratulate you. They just stare in silence, their eyes lacking any genuine warmth. The ancients called this kind of gaze eyes filled with hidden malice, a look that carries aggression and veiled hostility. You might notice them glancing sideways at you, or sneaking looks when they think you're not watching. And when you catch them, they quickly turn away and pretend nothing happened. Sometimes they stare at you for a long time, but not out of care, rather to silently analyze every word you say, every move you make. The closer someone is to you, yet often gives you this kind of gaze, the more cautious you should be. Because envy from strangers might hurt you, but envy from those close can destroy both your career and your trust. Remember, those with ill intent don't always reveal themselves through words. They can smile sweetly, speak kindly, but their eyes, even for just a moment, will expose their true nature. The sincere have eyes that are bright and warm. The envious have eyes that are dull and full of false light. So train yourself to observe how people look at you, especially in moments when you are happy, successful, or receiving attention. Because it's in those exact moments that the envious will unintentionally reveal themselves, and their eyes will tell you everything you need to know. 2. Furrowed brows, a face often tense and irritated. Envy is a kind of silent fire. It burns quietly within, but scorches the entire face. People who harbor jealousy for a long time often develop a face marked by tension, stiffness, and unease, especially around the eyebrows and corners of the mouth. They frequently frown, as if constantly calculating something, but not because they care about you, rather because they're silently comparing. Why do you have what they don't? In truth, you don't need to be particularly observant to spot this. Just pay attention when you share a small success, a new job, an exciting trip, or even a simple compliment from someone else. A sincere person will smile and celebrate with you, But the envious one? Their eyebrows will twitch into a slight frown, their lips will tighten, and their eyes will shift away from yours. Their whole face seems to freeze, not showing joy, but revealing a subtle discomfort that's hard to describe. There's an old saying, when the heart is not pure, the face darkens. A narrow heart creates a pinched face. An ill-hearted mind makes the face hard to look at. Because envy is a poison, not only does it destroy inner peace, it also corrodes facial expressions. You'll notice that such people rarely smile sincerely, and if they do, the smile is short-lived and forced, like a duty, not a genuine feeling. They don't open their hearts, because their minds are full of hidden agendas. They don't share your joy, because deep down, they believe your happiness is their loss. The more someone secretly competes with others, the more grave their expression becomes. Not because they suffer, but because they can't stand others being happier than themselves. If someone always frowns when you're happy, if they often fall silent, not from thoughtfulness, but from a reluctance to share your joy, then it's time to reevaluate that relationship. They may not harm you now, but their silent envy will eventually turn into gossip, distortion, or worse, a scheme to destroy what you've worked hard to build. So don't underestimate the subtle signs in someone's expression. Sometimes, just one misplaced frown is enough to reveal that this person doesn't genuinely wish you well. Remember, the face is the mirror of the heart. A bright heart creates a gentle face. A dark heart casts a shadow. And those whose hearts are filled with envy, sooner or later, their face will betray them. 3. A half smile, when the mouth twists to one side. There is a type of smile that the ancients warned about. A half smile, with the mouth lifting slightly to one side. It seems playful or sarcastic, even scornful, but is disguised beneath a mask of friendliness. This kind of person adapts like a chameleon, acting devout around saints and sly around devils. When they meet someone powerful, they become servile and eager. When they meet someone they dislike, they still smile, but that smile doesn't come from the heart. If you've ever had a friend like this, you'll notice, when you succeed, they smile. But the smile isn't full or genuine. It's just a slight curl of the lip, as if they're forcing themselves to act polite. When you face hardship, they still smile, but this time with satisfaction, as if your pain brings them comfort. A half-hearted smile reveals a narrow soul, one incapable of truly wishing happiness for others. The ancients said, the mouth is the gateway to the heart. Someone who smiles with their mouth but whose eyes remain cold, someone who curves their lips while harboring resentment inside, will eventually expose their true nature. Those who live sincerely, their smile is always rounded, gentle, radiating through their eyes and their energy. But the envious and jealous, no matter how hard they try to smile, their expression will always appear crooked, like a mask that won't quite fit. If you meet someone who, every time you share a happy story, only slightly smirks and says nothing, offering no praise, no warmth in their gaze, don't assume they're just reserved or introverted. It's very likely they don't like you, or worse, they resent your joy. Some people will never say what they truly think, but their lips may accidentally betray their inner feelings. And that crooked, one-sided smile is a sign you should never ignore. In Eastern cultures, people especially value the essence behind a smile. A genuine smile involves not just the mouth, but the eyes, facial expression, and aura. A one-sided smile, on the other hand, reflects pretense, calculation, and at times, deceit. Why? Because those with kind hearts will genuinely rejoice when others are happy. But those with dark hearts, your joy makes them uneasy. They won't say it, but their mouth is the mirror that reflects it all. Remember, a person who often gives a half smile is often a double-faced person. They may force a smile when facing you, but behind your back, who knows if they're not plotting to bring you down. So when interacting with others, don't just listen to their words, watch their smile. See how they respond to your joy and your pain. Smiling may seem simple, but it reveals the true character of a person. And sometimes, just one wrong smirk is enough for you to realize that person isn't sincere. 4. Often looks sideways, avoids direct eye contact. There's a certain type of person who, when you walk into a room, won't greet you, won't look you in the eye, and won't show any warmth. But if you pay attention, you'll notice they're glancing at you, sneakily, fleetingly, then quickly looking away. That glance, it's not a look of respect or goodwill. It's a gaze of avoidance, full of calculation. A sincere person, when meeting you, will look directly into your eyes. Whether you're close or strangers, they communicate with a clear, calm, and straightforward gaze. But someone who harbors jealousy or resentment rarely dares to meet your eyes. Why? Because deep down, they know they're not being genuine with you. They fear their eyes will betray their true emotions, that you might read the envy, the discomfort, or the hidden negativity behind their polite mask. The ancients once said something deeply insightful. A sincere person sees with light, a jealous person sees with shadows. What does that mean? It means the eyes of kind people are always bright, honest, like daylight, while the gaze of those with narrow minds is dark, evasive, like a shadow hiding behind a curtain, not wanting anyone to see the ugliness within. When you speak and someone avoids your eyes, glances sideways, or quickly looks away, don't dismiss it. That may not be just a sign of shyness or social awkwardness, but a reflection of an unsettled mind and a dishonest heart. In face reading, physiognomy, the eyes are said to reveal one's spirit and are often the easiest part of the body to betray someone's inner truth. People who are fake, envious, or harbor ill intent often avoid eye contact. They lack the confidence to face others directly. They only dare to glance, peek, or even pretend not to notice. But in reality, they are observing your every move. Not because they care, but because they compare. They envy. They look for faults. There's something strange about them. The more they envy you, the more they secretly watch you. But their gaze doesn't come from admiration. It's born from silent jealousy. And you'll notice, every time you succeed or someone praises you, they look away. But when you stumble or face trouble, their eyes suddenly light up, even if only for a moment. That look, a mix of concealed delight and fake indifference, reveals someone quietly rejoicing in your misfortune. In life, we are often deceived by sweet words. But the eyes are much harder to disguise. The more cunning someone is, the more polite their words become, the easier they mask their true intentions. But sideways glances, evasive looks, those reveal everything. So learn to observe people's eyes. Don't just listen with your ears, listen with your eyes. Because the eyes are the window of the soul and the mirror that reflects who someone truly is. 5. A face that changes when you succeed. There is a type of person who may not say anything out loud, may still smile and nod politely, but their face has already spoken volumes. They are the kind who don't rejoice when you're praised and don't feel sad when you suffer, because in their hearts, your happiness is their discomfort. When you share good news, a career breakthrough, a compliment from someone, or simply a joyful moment, their facial expression changes instantly. They might try to smile, to perform a little friendliness, but their eyes will drop. Their face will look forced. And if you're observant, you'll notice the lack of genuine empathy showing through quite clearly. The ancients once said, joy, sorrow, jealousy, and resentment all are revealed on the face. No matter how well someone hides their emotions, their true feelings will inevitably leak through their expression. And especially when you succeed, when you're praised or celebrated, that is the moment when those who aren't sincere with you find it hardest to hide their true nature. Jealous people are rarely mentally prepared to rejoice for your success. They always assume you won't outdo them, and when you prove them wrong, they don't know how to react. Their face turns awkward, unnatural, their gaze is lost, like their mind is torn between two conflicting states. One part wants to maintain appearances, trying to act polite. The other is being pulled down by envy, unable to truly offer congratulations. The result? A distorted, fake, and visibly uncomfortable expression. As the ancients taught, the face is the mirror of the heart. If someone always looks cheerful when others are miserable and grows stiff when others find joy, perhaps they're not worthy of your trust. At a celebration, amid a sea of well wishes, you'll notice some faces remain stiff and frozen. They clap, but their eyes are blank. They smile, but their mouth doesn't curve naturally. Because deep down, they're not happy for you. And when you take a step back and observe from afar, you'll see more clearly. They don't immerse themselves in the joyful moment. They linger on the sidelines, aloof, or find excuses to leave early. They avoid mentioning your success, because the more it's brought up, the more uneasy they feel. The ancients once advised, a genuine smile is hard to find. A fake smile is everywhere. So don't just listen to words, observe the eyes. Watch their expression when you speak of your joy. Because the envious, no matter how many tricks they learn to hide it, their face will always betray them first. On the other hand, someone who's truly sincere won't just smile with you. They'll glow with happiness when you're happy. Their eyes sparkle, their smile flows naturally, their face radiates warmth. They don't just feel joy for you, they're proud of you. And those are the people truly worth keeping close. The ancients used to say, you may know a person's face, but not their heart. Yet the heart reveals itself when the face can no longer hide it. Indeed, the face is the most honest mirror of the soul. No matter how well someone hides their emotions, just a brief, unguarded moment can expose their true inner world. In life, envy rarely comes with noise. Jealous people don't shout or openly show hostility. On the contrary, they are often subtle, graceful, soft-spoken, sometimes even acting friendly. And that's exactly why we can be so easily deceived. We naively believe that everyone is sincere with us, that they are truly happy when we succeed. But reality says otherwise. Envy and jealousy often come from those who once stood close, those who shared with us, perhaps even those we once trusted deeply. Because they know you, they've seen your weaknesses. And so it's even harder for them to accept your growth, your strength, or the respect you now command. We don't need to be paranoid, but we must learn to observe wisely. Watch their face. Are they by your side when you're sad? When you're joyful, do they share in your happiness genuinely? When you speak of a good opportunity, do their eyes light up? Or is it just a hollow nod? The sincere ones will bring you peace and comfort. The fake ones, despite constant smiles, will leave you drained, wary, and never truly at ease. In this life, keep your heart pure, but not naive. Be kind, but also discerning. Be genuine, but not gullible. Because not everyone who smiles at you is truly happy for you. Reading facial expressions isn't about judging others. It's about understanding people more clearly. From that, you'll know who to draw close and who to keep at a distance. You'll know who is trustworthy and who simply wears a social mask. Because keeping distance from the fake is also keeping peace for yourself. Closing thoughts. Peace in life doesn't come from being loved by everyone, but from staying away from relationships that disturb your inner calm. Not everyone who treats you well is genuine, and not everyone who stays silent is harmless. Envy and jealousy are often hidden behind smiles, but the face, the eyes, the expressions, they don't lie. Remember the 5 signs that ancient wisdom has distilled through life's observations: cold eyes, furrowed brows, half-hearted smiles, sideways glances, and a face that changes when you succeed. This isn't superstition, it's the subtle art of reading people. The wise don't judge others by their words, but by their eyes and actions. May you always remain clear-headed in this chaotic world. May you guard your soul, choose the right companions, and keep your heart clean and steady. If you found this video meaningful, like and share it with those you care about. Don't forget to leave a comment, share your thoughts or a personal story you've experienced so we can all grow together. And remember to subscribe to Ancient Philosophy, a place where timeless wisdom helps you live deeper, wiser, and more peacefully in today's world.